Hey you guys, what's up? If you've never seen me before, my name is Chelsea and I write books about Black girls who aren't all that nice. And this is the start of what I'm hoping will be a new series called Chelsea's Chaotic Creative Chronicles. And basically, I am going to be taking you guys along on my journey of trying to write multiple projects at one time. As a full-time author, I realized that I have not been doing as much authoring as I would like to, probably should be doing. Project Necromancer was supposed to be like a cute little side project in between book 2 and book 3 of the Wrath of the God series, and it ended up being like this huge project that is still not done. I am not entirely sure why that is, but I am also at a point where I'm like, I have been working on this for coming up on a year now, and it was not supposed to be that. It was supposed to be like a couple of months, 10 weeks tops. I have given myself the very hard deadline of it will be done by August or it will just go on the shelf because I have to write the third book of my trilogy. With that in mind, these chronicles are going to follow me working on a couple of projects. So the first one being the first book of a duology, which is Project Necromancer. My goal is to finish that by August. As of right now, we are at the end of July. I think we have like 2 or 3 days left in July. Today is the 29th. I'm giving myself until August 31st to finish Project Necromancer. So that's goal number 1. Goal number 2 is to start and finish drafting book 3 of the Wrath of the Gods trilogy, which already does have a title. There are some scenes that are already written, but I do want to shift to making that my primary project. Project number 3 is going to be completing Magic in the Melanin. Magic in the Melanin is a Black fantasy anthology that I am putting together with my other author friends, Tatiana O.B. and La Purvis, and Celeste Hart is going to be our cover artist. And basically, Magic in the Melanin is exactly what it sounds like, and if you know me at all, you can probably guess what it's going to be. I've definitely talked about it on the Melanin chat and in my writing sprints, so slight plug to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Magic in the Melanin is a Black fantasy anthology that features Black authors writing Black fantasy for Black readers. And the reason I say that is because traditional publishing very heavily prioritizes the white gaze when it comes to reading. And a lot of times when it comes to writing Black characters, that means focusing on their pain and their suffering. And so our main focus with the anthology is to write our stories for us, where we get to have fun and have stories about Black girls who aren't all that nice without being stigmatized or forced into stereotypes. It's meant to be fun, and it's meant to showcase different types of fantasy by Black authors. We want to be able to say like, hey, here are authors if you're looking for Black fantasy that is written for Black readers where everybody in the story is Black. It exists. Here's where to find it. Here's some places to kick off. And here are different types of fantasy if you are unfamiliar with fantasy or you're new to it or you're still trying to figure out what you like as an adult, because this is an adult anthology. So there's going to be a link down in the description box below so you can get into that, submit a story for it, see what the submission guidelines are. But I can tell you that the main thing is that you have to be Black, all the characters have to be Black, the story has to be fantasy, the word count is between 4,000 and 7,000 words, and there cannot be any racial trauma in your story. It cannot feature that. That cannot be the motive or the purpose behind your characters. And if you're writing a fantasy romance, then the love interest also needs to be Black. So there's going to be a link down there to join our street team as well. If you're interested, and anyone can join that one. You don't have to be Black. I mean, you can be, but you don't have to be. Also going to be working on a brand new series that I might have mentioned to you guys before. It's about a woman whose husband is murdered, and so she goes to space to go and kill his murderer. I just feel like it's fun. It's going to be a series. I wrote a short story for it to submit to FIYAH, and I had my friends read it and they were like, Chelsea, this is great. This is amazing. But they were also like, this is a little too amazing to submit. You should keep this for yourself and do something with it. And I was like, but it's done and it's great. But I'm also like, after sleeping on it for a couple of days, I was like, no, this is definitely a story that is like near and dear to my heart. So I want to make sure that I spend some time with it and do it correctly. I'm going to be also working on that. But in the meantime, in between time for the next 3 days, I'm also going to be working on my submission for FIYAH, because that is something that I do really want to try to do. I don't know if I'm going to be successful because the deadline is literally like 2 days away. And I basically have to start over on my submission, and I don't know if I'm going to have time to do that, but we are going to try. We're going to try. Hence why this is called the Chaotic Creative Chronicles, Creative Chaotic Chronicles. I don't know what order this is going to go in yet, but I'm going to be working on a lot and I'm going to try to bring you guys along with me. So yeah, that's that. I hope you're locked in for this journey. And if you have questions about my writing process, what I'm working on, or anything like that, feel free to drop it in the comments below and I will try to answer all of your questions about all of the things. That being said, let's go ahead and get started because I have a lot on my plate today. So it just occurred to me that I didn't actually tell you guys what I have to do today. So quick little update. First thing is the anthology. So we are actually working on getting some artists so that we can add some fantasy artwork to go along with our fantasy stories. I'm really excited about it. This was a little unexpected because we had a cover artist from the beginning, but when submissions went out, there were actually several artists who reached out to us and they were like, hey, I'm a Black artist and I would just like to contribute to this Black fantasy space thing that you're doing. And we were like, oh, okay, cool. So I have to get a submissions form together for the artists as well as organize a couple people so that we can do a proper cover reveal that will be coming in early August. So again, another reminder to sign up for the street team if you'd like to be a part of it. You can also respond to any of my tweets or posts on Instagram about it. So yeah, I have to do that first. And then most of the day is going to be spent working on my FIYAH submission because like I said, I have like 2 days to get that together. My goal is to have it written today so that I can have my author friends read it and give me some feedback so that I can then try to clean it up before the submissions window. But we will see how that actually works out. I have my coffee. Oh, another slight plug. This is our Melanin Library cup. I don't know if you guys can really see it, but it has the Melanin Library logo on it, and the entire mug is filled with Black authors. So if you get it, you're going to always have a recommendation for a Black author to read, and specifically a Black author who writes Black characters. So this is the 2024 mug. It has a specific list of, I want to say around 22 to 30 names. I don't remember the exact number anymore. 2025 is going to be a different mug with different names on it. So for sure, get into it. And also keep in mind that if you purchase this, you will also be helping support the Melanin Library, which is why we are putting together an anthology that is presented by the Melanin Library in the first place, because it's a free resource, but it is not free to run. So the anthology is a way for us to raise funds to hopefully keep the Melanin Library around for a little while longer. So buy a mug, pre-order the anthology when it's ready, subscribe to the channel. There's a link to all of that in the description box because I have all the links to all the things and for all the places in the description box. So now let's actually get into this. All right, you guys, so quick update on how today has been going. So I worked on my submission for FIYAH Lit this morning, and it is currently a little after 3 o'clock. It's about 3:30 right now. I would say that I was actually very productive and focused in working on the short story, but I will also say that I'm not 100% sure that I'm actually going to submit. It's not that I don't have an idea, it's not that I don't have a theme for it, it's that I'm not very focused on it. And I feel like I really liked what I wrote before, but this one just isn't inspiring me in the same ways. And so I'm not sure if one, I'm going to get it done today because I do have to switch over to working on some stuff for the anthology, at least for a little bit. And two, even if I do get it done, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time to get feedback and clean it up and do all the things that I would wanna do before submitting. So I don't know if I'm actually gonna make this deadline or not, but I will see how much time I have left, what my energy is looking like after I do the stuff for the anthology, and kind of play with it from there. That being said, the things for the anthology are A lot, actually. We have decided on an actual release date because up until now we've been saying February 2025. So we have an actual release date for the anthology. With that being said, there are a lot of things to organize so that things can hopefully go smoothly. Some of those things include setting up the pre-order so that when we do the cover reveal, people can go ahead and pre-order it while it's top of mind. We are also doing a submissions for artists. So that has to first be created and then it has to be promoted. We also have to create graphics for the cover reveal, and we also have to organize all of these bits and parts, which includes sending several emails. It includes creating several graphics, and it includes just touching base and making sure that we are all on the same page and making sure that I have my stuff together so that if people come to me with questions, I have answers for them. So it does take a little bit of time. My goal is to spend roughly about an hour, hour and a half on this, and then to migrate back over to the short story. Before I start on the anthology, I am going to put what I typed up on my Remarkable onto my computer into Dabble so I can get an actual word count for it, because Remarkable is very similar to FreeWrite, if you've ever seen that. They are by no means the same thing. Remarkable is like a handwritten notebook. I've had that for a while. I just bought the keyboard that goes along with it so that I can have some distraction-free writing. I will say that actually does work more so than I thought it would, because I've always been the type of girly that was like, oh no, Dabble is fine, writing on the computer is fine, I don't need another gadget. I wouldn't say I need another gadget, but I can definitely say that having another gadget definitely helps. I won't say that it's for everyone, but I will say that if you are interested in like spicing up your creative process or changing things around, or if you find that you get distracted when you sit down at your main setup or your laptop or whatever, it is definitely something worth considering. If you have questions about it, for sure, ask me. I'll tell you whatever I know. I want to get it over to the computer, get the word count to see how close I am to even meeting the requirements for FIYAH, because honestly, if I only have like 1,000 words or something like that of like usable content, then I am definitely not going to be submitting. But if I'm somewhere in the range that I want to be, which in my mind is at least, 4,000 to 5,000 words, then I'm like, okay, I have something to work with. So all that being said, I'm not going to sit here and ramble. I just wanted to update you guys. And like the title of the series suggests, this is going to be very chaotic. So hopefully you guys don't mind. But I'm going to get into this and I will talk to you guys in the next update. Hey you guys, so back for another update. Today is July 31st. Couple of things have happened since I did not actually record yesterday. Yesterday was Tuesday, it was supposed to be Melanin Chat Day, but I was just really not in a good headspace, so I did not do that, which means I also was not in the headspace to record. So quick update. I did work on and finish a new short story for the FIYAH submission, which is kind of wild to me. I wasn't sure if I was actually going to be able to get it done because, like I said, I was not in the best of spaces mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Like I was just all out of whack yesterday. But I'm actually really proud of myself for getting this done. So like whether it's accepted or not, I'm really proud of myself for not having written one but two short stories in the time frame. And I'm also really grateful for my author community. So shout out to Tatiana O.B., La Purvis, and Amanda B. Weaver, because those three author friends, like they have really been holding me down this last couple of weeks. And I just really appreciate them, especially Tatiana and La, because they're in my author council. And when I tell you, I sent them my short story, like I sent the first one 4 days before the deadline, and they read it and got feedback to me, and then also made time to like talk to me about it so that I can make changes. And then ultimately when I decided like I'm probably going to keep this one because, fun fact, that was actually Tatiana's idea. The thing that you have to know about me and my author council is that I have so much respect for all of the people in it. And y'all know that I absolutely love Tatiana. She's been on the channel multiple times, and whenever I get the chance, I plug her books. So another slight plug to go read Bones to the Wind, Dragging Your Bones, and Sister Samurai. All of them are absolutely incredible. But the thing that I love about Tatiana is that our friendship and our author friendship is so, I don't know, it's like such iron sharpens iron. Because when I tell you, if Tatiana tells me that I did good, like I feel that in my spirit. And when she's like, you can do better, I'm like, okay, yes, ma'am, I will do better. I will level up. And it's just really nice to be in a community where my opinion is respected, but also I am surrounded by people whose opinion I respect on my work. It's really nice. And it's been a very grounding point for me in the last couple of days. So I appreciate them immensely. They read my short story. Today is the deadline. I have to submit the short story today. And when I tell you, I sent it to them at like 9 o'clock last night. And I was like, hey, if you have time to read it, please read it. And when I tell you, Amanda, Tatiana, and La all read it and gave me feedback on it within like an hour. Let me tell y'all, those women are beautiful and I love them. I love them so much. I am going to be working on making those changes and uploading my submission to FIYAH. That is the main priority for today. If I have time and energy, I have an idea for Project Necromancer that I want to go ahead and get down. It's kind of been floating in my head for the last couple of days, and I decided to just like sit on it because normally when I have an idea, if I try to put it to the page too soon, it doesn't work out the way that I need it to. So my brain, like my creative brain, is very much like a slow cooker and I hate it sometimes, but I'm also like, the longer it sits there, the better it gets. It's been marinating for a couple of days, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to get it out on the page, see how I feel about it, see where I want to go with it. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna get to work and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I am back with another update, and I am super excited to let you guys know that I submitted my short story to FIYAH. So as of right now, it is officially out of my hands. It is in the Anthology gods' hands, whatever. I am super proud of myself for doing this, for finishing it, because like I said, I did not know if I was actually going to be able to. I rewrote the whole short story, and when I went to go submit it, they were like, hey, need a cover letter? And I was like, I ain't got one of them. So I had to come up with that, and it was a little nerve-wracking, and it was interesting because, you know, I have several forms and things that I put together. I'm putting together the Magic in the Melanin anthology right now, and so people are submitting, and I'm just like, oh, is this what people feel on the other side of the submission form? Oh my God, this is stressful. It's stressful, but it is done. I am super proud of myself. I hope that they enjoy it, even if it's not picked. It's proof to myself that I can actually do this, because I definitely have moments of like imposter syndrome where I'm like, I don't know, am I really an author? Especially since one of my goals initially, like last year in 2023, one of my goals for 2024 was to release the third book of the trilogy, and that is not happening this year. The main reason for that being that I spent a lot of time on Project Necromancer, so much so that even if I started right now, unless I was just like speed running and rushing through the book, it would not be done. That's the only way it would be done on time, and it would have to come out in like December, and that's really holiday time, and that's not what I want to do, and I don't want to rush the release of the trilogy. I am done with the FIYAH submission. I am going to be focusing on some things for the anthology. I'm also getting to read some really cool stories. So again, shout out to Tatiana for
being on the front lines and reading everything that is submitted to the anthology, and I get to read the ones that she approves of. So I have a couple more stories that I get to read, and I'm looking forward to it. So far, we have had a really great experience with the anthology. Definitely some things that we're going to tweak if we do this again, but overall, it's been a really cool experience, and I'm looking forward to all the things that are to come. It's interesting being on both sides of it, you know, submitting to an anthology while also simultaneously putting one together. Doing it in a short period of time, I wrote basically 7,000 words yesterday. And then edited it last night, and then got up and finished editing it this morning so that I could send it off. So it's been a process. I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to take a break. And then I am going to most likely write down some thoughts for Project Necromancer, like I said that I would. I doubt that that's going to go any further today, but I am going to actually work on it. I'm not sure when I'm going to end these videos. I think that today is actually going to be the last day for this first one. So if you guys watched this far, please for sure let me know if you like content like this. If you have nothing else to say, you can always leave a brown heart down in the comments below. And if you want any of like my writing tips and tricks, then check out the Fantasy Author Guidance Counselor series. And yeah, there are other things that I can plug, but there are just going to be links in the description box for everything. So just get into it. And I will see you guys in the next video. So until next time, I hope your days are lovely and your books are interesting. Bye guys.